Alright, welcome to the third vlog. So this will be my first time doing a no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, so we'll see how that goes and I'll catch up with you then. Alright, first no-gi class done. That's probably the hardest session I've had yet, but I feel like I'm learning some. I was told I have a decent foundation, but I really do need to focus on my breathing. I tend to kind of hold my breath in when I'm doing certain things, which is not great. But yeah, guess we'll see what the rest of the month brings. So a bit of a midweek catch up. I haven't gone to film a lot because I've been doing so much this week. I went in for my internship yesterday and I've been very hard at work at one of my creative projects. But right now I'm about to go into jiu-jitsu again. I just went grocery shopping, so kind of running around a little today. But this weekend there's a convention, so I'm really excited for that. It's one that's hosted by my university, so I'll try to record some then. Right now I am recording in my mostly empty room right now, and I'm going to finish hopefully by the end of the week moving all the rest of the stuff I have left in here now. It's mostly clothes. And yes, I did get a haircut. Beard is nice and lined up now. Think it looks nice and clean. I will continue growing it out, but yeah, a little maintenance here and there is nice. But yeah, let's get to it. So, a little bit of a side quest. They opened up a 7-Eleven in my hometown, so I knew I had to check that out. And they were giving out little coupons for a free big gulp, so it was nice to take advantage of that. Still had to pay tax, though. Alright, it's time to catch up again. So, today I went in for my shadowing hours again over at the emergency department in the hospital. I just did triage again. Wasn't too eventful today. I did manage to get a lot of useful notes though, so that's exciting. Today I went to the gym, did my pool days, so basically curling, pull-ups, rows, things like that. And also, I'll take this moment to talk about ETSU Con, which was over the weekend. It was really fun. I got a lot of cool stuff. They had a lot of cool vendors, few cool guests. I didn't really get to meet any of the guests this year, but yeah, they had a few cool people, like the guy who played Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption. Also, I got a lot of cool souvenirs. I got a couple of custom ones. The ones I got are pretty cool. I've been wanting something like this for a while. I like the color scheme of both of them, but I really couldn't decide which one I wanted. Also got this cool Michelangelo keychain, because if you remember, he is my favorite. And I played my first game of D&D, and we were gifted these little bags that have a 20-sided die, and also one of these little charms. Mine happens to be a little arrow. After that, we actually went to a video game store. Well, it wasn't just video games, it sold other like retro things. It had a whole area that had like movies and TV. They even had this ventriloquist dummy in the window, which I thought was really cool. And the reason we went there is because one of the vendors at the con was that business and they happened to be open, so we went afterwards in search of a specific item my brother wanted to see. And while we were in the area, we went to this antique shop and I saw this cool crab decoration that I really want. And while I'm at it, I will give an update on my project I'm working on. Worked my ass off on it all of last week during the night when I'd come home from the gym or jujitsu. When I say it was a pain in the ass to cut this foam, I mean it was a pain in the ass. But everything came together pretty nicely. Probably not quite as good as I wanted it to, but it makes sense because I've never done anything like this before. But I am excited to see what you guys think once these things come to fruition. Alright, so I've just gotten back from shadowing. Today I was actually following my preceptor around, and I got to see how they deal with a seizure in the emergency department. And that was really interesting. It was really intense, but it was really interesting. Also got a little insight into how they handle patient complaints, how they process that. It has been one of the more eventful days, I'll say that much. So for the beginning of spring break, I headed out to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And the first thing we did was the second day we were there, we went on this wildlife airboat cruise to go see the alligators and other wildlife. I also tried frog legs for the first time. They were pretty good. They remind me a lot of chicken wings. And honestly, if you toss them in sauce, I bet you could barely tell a difference. Anyway, we actually did see a lot of alligators, which was cool. When I went croc spotting in Australia recently, we didn't really see a lot of crocodiles. They didn't seem to be as active. So, in my opinion, this more than made up for it. And another thing of note is yes, this is a lot of reused footage from my reel that I made for Instagram. But I thought, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and this serves my purpose well enough to illustrate what I got up to over spring break. But yeah, I hope I captured the alligators clearly enough on my phone. After we got back, we were treated to this alligator show. I thought that was really entertaining. Apparently, this guy has a show on Animal Planet. And also, we got to see some of the other animals they kept in this facility. Now, this next part is actually one of the main reasons we planned this trip, and that was our day trip to Key West. We had to get up really early for this. It took a while to get there and then get back. And take into account the time that we spent there, it was well over 15 hours. But I would say it was worth it overall. I had a really good time in Key West. So yeah, I don't have much to say here, but we had some good eats, saw a lot of roosters. I got this key lime pie that was dipped in chocolate. That was actually really good, super indulgent. We saw Jimmy Buffett's recording studio, and my favorite, Robert the Doll at this museum. They had other artifacts too, but I'm kind of worried now that I might be cursed because I technically didn't ask little Robert permission to get my photo taken with him, but we'll see. Now, I am a huge fan of aquariums, so I filmed a lot here. I just find it all so fascinating. So I don't have much commentary here, so I'll probably slap on some music for the remainder of this portion. Leave it to me to seek out boba anywhere we go. We just kind of went out in the night. Conditions weren't great, but this place was nice. They had mochi donuts as well as Korean corn dogs in addition to their boba, and it was all really good, honestly. Unfortunately, I didn't spend a lot of time on the beach, but it was nice the little we got to see. Alright, so the last little thing I did for spring break was go on a hike. Now, I hadn't been on a hike in months, so this was actually kind of difficult for me. It was about 2.5 miles up to where the view was at the end of this. And it was up in a tower, actually, that was really nice. It was a little scary getting up there. The whole thing didn't seem too stable, but the view was worth it. So it's pretty much the end of week 7 right now. It is Friday of that week. I'm probably not going to film anything else over the weekend. I know this was a bit different from my first couple of videos in terms of formatting, but I always try to do new things. This isn't really the type of video I intended to make for this one. With my break and everything and other things going on, it's been kind of hard to get things in motion the way I wanted them to be, but I should be back on track starting Monday. And hopefully the video after this is the one I originally intended to make because I'm really excited for that one. But until next time, cheers.